Growing up, I viewed cameras as being some form of mechanical wizardry. I knew it involved lots of settings and dials and knobs and an understanding of light and darkness and their relationship. It was too much for me to even wrap my head around back then. I have since unpacked those mysteries and try to use my camera to tell stories by way of nature. My father had a more than one camera, and would use his camera to capture natural scenes and family moments, and would sometimes go in the backyard and take very close-up photographs of flowers in bloom. And I think inadvertently, I've continued in that tradition to some degree. I take photos to celebrate nature's beauty, all of its imperfections and perfections, and very often to make the small large. In pop-up number 1 at Sidle House, I have one piece from the spray collection that I worked on during lockdown. Did a lot of experimental with macro photography during that period, and this is a part of that. It should be evocative of maybe a rainy or snowy day in traffic. I have 9 pieces from an ongoing series called Favored Tree. This is the same tree in each of these images. In different years and seasons over the last 10 years, I attempt to visit this tree regularly. It's gotten to be quite special to me, as the series name may imply. I have 7 pieces showing as part of the Vessels series, also ongoing. In some cases, these vessels holding the flowers are very, very small. There's one vessel that is about as tall as a thumbnail. And I tried to capture, again, as much detail and beauty as I could of both the vessel and the natural life it holds. But also, each of these images is torn or cut and repaired with surgical sutures. This relates directly to what I was going through at the time. And I use some of my father's old implements that he used when he was practicing medicine. I was asked to make a new still film, which is more of a hobby of mine, which is showing in the gallery now. Again, I attempt to capture nature in these still films. A locked-off camera shot with wind or water waves moving in the frame, whatever needs to be moved. And finally, there's a large image shown at pop-up number 1 called Moment. It was indeed a moment. My daughter and I were in the Magic Hedge Bird Sanctuary overlooking Lake Michigan. And when we approached a bush and a red-winged blackbird took off from it, I was positioned perfectly to capture this moment. When I saw the back of my digital camera, I knew immediately I wanted to see this large. I wanted to be able to live in this moment as closely and as in much of an enveloped way as I possibly could.